A long, long time ago, in a land far, far away, lived some people in a village who had never, ever seen a mirror. One day, a man from that village decided to go on a journey. He traveled for many days, and he came to a strange country. In this place, people ate their food using skinny little sticks with their fingers. And they wore straw hats. And they had chairs with big wheels and two poles attached to them that stuck way out. And you could sit in the chair and you could pay a man to pick up those poles and he would take you wherever you wanted to go. The traveler enjoyed himself so much. One day he went into a store and he decided he would get himself a memento. He wanted something that would always remind him of this trip and the wonderful things he had seen. When he went into the store, he was looking around, and on a counter he found an interesting looking object. It was round, and he picked it up and he looked and he laughed, and in it he saw a man laughing at him. And he made a stern face, and the man did back. "Oh, what a wonderful thing!" He took it, went to the proprietor of the store and said, "I would like to buy this." And so he did. He went back to his village, but he did not want anyone else to share in this wonderful thing he had gotten. So he hid it in his little table in his room. Every day he would go in and he would take the object out of the table and he would look and he would see the stranger and he would laugh. And his wife heard him. One day when he was out, his wife went into the room and she found the object. And she picked it up and looked. Oh, no! She burst into tears. And her mother-in-law, who had been in the kitchen, heard her and came running. "Daughter, what is wrong?" And the daughter said, "My husband, he's been unfaithful to me. Look, he brought home this beautiful young woman." And the mother-in-law said, "Wait, let me see," and took this. And she looked and said, "Daughter, you are mistaken. This is a wrinkled old crone." Just then, the mother-in-law's husband came in. "What are you women talking about?" Well, the daughter tried to explain, the mother-in-law tried to explain, and the father took the thing and looked and said, "Why, this is the grandfather from the edge of the village. You women are silly." He put the object down. The women went about their business. The son, who was about 7 years old, had listened. He wondered what it was all about. He snuck into his father's room. He found it. He took it. Afraid of being caught in his father's room, he went outside where he had been before. And he looked. And when he did, he saw a young boy. And behind the boy, leaning against the house, he saw his behind the boy, he saw his carved walking stick that his father had made for him. Oh, he was angry. And he said, "Why, you're a thief, and you have my stick." And just then, a neighbor walked by and said, "What is the matter?" "He took my walking stick that my father made for me." The neighbor, who was a rather big man, he picked this up and looked and he said, "Why, you big fatso, how dare you make this little boy cry?" Smashed it to 1,000 pieces. And that was the end of the stranger who smiled at the traveler, of the beautiful woman, of the wrinkled old crone, of the grandfather from the edge of town, of the little boy who stole the walking stick, and of the fat, ugly neighbor